Things are starting to look spooky in San Antonio after the Spurs drafted two promising first round picks and keep their core intact. All things point to a bright future for the Spurs. We'll talk about both picks and what this means for the future of the Spurs and how these two guys can fit in to the things that are already going right in San Antonio. What's good, Spurs Digest family? I'm Bryan Colbert here, giving you instant analysis to the 2025 NBA draft. There were so many moves, there were so many things going on, but we are here to only talk about the San Antonio Spurs because I feel like the Spurs won the draft this year. They won the draft last year. They won the draft the year before that. And once again, I feel like the Spurs have two pieces that will solidify the fact that they killed this draft. Let's get right into it. Let's give the number 2 pick, Dylan Harper, who I don't think anybody was surprised that he was the number 2 pick, some love, because that is right. The San Antonio Spurs went and got two dogs. And at number 2, it was Dylan Harper. So we're going to start with him because I think this kid right here is going to be a star. Harper looks the part of an NBA star guard at 6'6", 215 pounds. He led Rutgers, averaging 19 points per game and 4 assists. He's a guy that can create his own shot and fill it up quickly, having multiple 30-point scoring nights in just his freshman year. He helped Rutgers through some rough times. They had struggled with injury, with illness, and he came through from them in a major way. Now, a lot of people are wondering how he will fit alongside Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox. But I think his height at 6'6" and his incredibly long wingspan will allow him to share the court with both guards and create matchup nightmares for a ton of offenses. I truly think this is a positionless basketball type league now. And when you look at the Spurs and when you look at having a guy that's 7'5" on there, I really think you can put a bunch of different pieces out there because everything is switchable with the Spurs. And I think when you add a guy like this to the starting lineup, where you got to imagine the number 2 pick is going to have to start, right? He's going to be the starter. Maybe they don't have to rush it. We saw what they did with Stephon Castle, right? They did not have to rush Stephon Castle playing. However, just like Castle, I think Harper is going to make it very hard to not play him because that's what Castle did, right? Like, they were going to take their time with Castle, but Castle was so good and he played so well when he did get those minutes and all the different roles he was asked to play. They had no choice but to keep him on the court, and I also feel like that is what Harper is going to do. I mean, and he plays defense too. Like, that's the thing I really like about Harper. When we talk about switching, he plays really good defense, averaged over a steal a game as a freshman. I mean, he just plays passing lanes well, and to me, I think he just fits the part. Now, where does he fit in the mix, right? Like I said, I truly do think we see a guy like him being able to start alongside Fox and Castle. Again, when you have a number 2 pick, you hope that he does start. You hope that he's a guy that, you know what I'm saying, can come in right away. And to me, I think he's one of those guys that's just like Castle. He's ready to play now. I don't think he needs a lot of time, but giving your rookie time is a luxury, right? That's rich folks' problems when it comes to the Spurs. So either way, I don't think fans will be too upset, but I know fans are ready to see what this Harper kid can do. And I mean, I'm taking the bold prediction. I think he gets Rookie of the Year. I know what Cooper Flag is. I understand he's the number 1 pick. I understand he is playing on an incredible Dallas team, but that is the reason why I'm kind of like, well, how much better is he going to make Dallas, where Harper, all of a sudden, you see a Spurs team go from not playoffs into the playoffs. Dallas, fringe playoff team, was in the finals 2 years ago. So, like, to me, there's a chance that Harper could really get those Rookie of the Year votes. So we really could be looking at a guy, 3-peat for the Spurs, where we have 3 straight Rookie of the Years. And I'm really high on Harper, man. I just think he fits the bill. To me, in any other draft, he's the number 1 pick. Like, he's that good. He reminds me of a Cade Cunningham, like what Cade Cunningham has been able to do with Detroit, you know, around the right pieces. To me, he's coming in a much better position. Harper's coming in a much better position than Cade Cunningham did. When Cade Cunningham came to Detroit, it was barren. He didn't have a coach. He didn't have anything. Now, all of a sudden, he's getting all those pieces. It took a little time. But to me, Harper comes into an amazing situation, much like Cooper Flag, right? But again, the Spurs went out a playoff team. So if Harper's addition comes and he's a starter and he's making waves and he looks the part, very easily can see a guy like him being the rookie of the year. I mean, this kid can just ball out. He's just a flat out hooper. And to me, it's hard to find holes in this kid's game. It's hard to find things where you say, we wish he did this better. His shot's going to improve in the NBA. I mean, he has all the intangibles you want from a number 2 pick. And I know Spurs fans have to be so excited because, again, there was a lot of speculation, right? There was a lot of speculation on if the Spurs were going to actually hold on to this pick, if the Spurs were going to use this number 2 pick and trade it to get a star. We saw guy after guy move, right? We saw a lot of different moves, and some of those price tags were extremely high. So I think when you look at this and us being able to just stay put, not go into the pressure of trying to add another star with Wemby, and just understanding, hey, we are in an exceptional spot getting this number 2 pick, winning the draft lottery really by getting this number 2 pick and sticking with a guy like Harper, who again just gets it done. He's a ball player, man, and that's what you want on this Spurs team. You want a ball player. You want a guy that can get it done in multiple ways. And now the Spurs just have a team full of guys that are versatile, a team full of guys that can get it done, a team full of guys that have heart. To me, this is a Spur pick. He is a Spur, the way he plays the game, the way he studies the game, his knowledge. That you hear people about, Rutgers talk about the awareness he has, the IQ he has for such a young guy. And I mean, of course, a lot of that comes honestly. I mean, Ron Harper being one of the smarter guards to play in the NBA, one of the better champions to play in the NBA, just one of those solid role players. To me, I mean, this kid doesn't have nothing about him or his tape says role player. So to me, Harper is a guy I think we all need to be very, very excited about. And I think expectations are high, but for good reason, man. When you watch this guy play, the tools he has, especially at that size, at 6'6", I mean, this kid is a freak. And I think you're going to really see it when you see him line up in the NBA and you really see how well his body and physique matches with an NBA frame. To me, I think it's just they knocked it out the park. A+ for Dylan Harper. I think he is going to fit tremendously here. But a guy that I'm really, really excited to talk about is the number 14 pick. The number 14 pick, Carter Bryant. This guy is just such an interesting prospect. And honestly, not a prospect I expected to be there at number 14. If you would have told me the Spurs were able to get a Carter Bryant, I would have said, okay, they traded up. Carter Bryant out of Arizona is very interesting because he didn't have a high usage, right? He wasn't needed a lot in Arizona, I guess if that's the right way to put it. Kind of a hard guy to evaluate because of that usage. But I think fans that are unsure about this pick and not really sure what they're going to get with this because they're just looking at the numbers and the box scores, I'm telling you right now, this is a guy you want to be excited about. This is a Spurs pick. This guy plays basketball. He just does, he just seems to do all of the things the right way, right? Like all of the things, not just the little things, but he just seems to do all of the things the right way. And he does exactly what the Spurs need him to do. He plays defense and he can hit the open shot. Not only does he play defense, but he can guard multiple positions. You talk about playing switchable basketball. This kid can play switchable basketball, man. He has great size. He has extreme athleticism. I think he was top 5 in the vertical leap in the combine. And I mean, this guy is an athletic freak. He hits open shots well. Half of his points last season came from made threes. Like that's music to all of our ears, right? And 82% of his shot attempts were catch and shoot threes and finishes to the rim. More music to our ears. This sounds like the kind of player we've been looking for. I mean, we've been looking at different veterans to add and different role players to add. This guy fits the part. This guy does everything that Spurs fans have been saying they want. And I'm telling you, the fact that his usage was so low, I really think we had a diamond in the rough in this kid. And honestly, the usage is probably why he fell, because you look at, okay, well, if he's so good, why fall at number 14? I do think it had to do with the usage and the style of play Arizona ran. But I mean, when you look at the numbers and like the intangibles, you really dive into what this kid can do. I mean, a freak. To have this type of athletic ability paired with really a really good set jump shot, it's very rare. And especially, again, at a number 14 pick. So I think Spurs fans will actually be extremely excited to have a guy like this, to have a guy that, again, can guard really the 1 through 4, a guy that's actually very similar to some of the guys we have on our roster, the Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, but except this guy is a true 3-and-D, much like Harrison Barnes has become like a true 3-and-D guy. So I think he fits well, and I also think he allows a little more flexibility with what this roster is going to do, right? Like I could see changes coming in the future for the Spurs, and I'm going to make a video about that later. Maybe it'll drop tomorrow, about what these picks mean for as far as the rest of this roster, the rest of the outlook. Do you see the Spurs making more moves? I think things are going to happen. I think things are going to shake. I think Spurs fans were a little surprised to not see them go with the big while staying at number 14, especially because there were some still bigs on the board. However, I think this is an excellent pick. This is a Spurs pick, and I think Brian Wright and company have shown us we can trust their instinct when it comes to these guys, especially these guys in the top 15. And what I really like about Carter Bryant as well is that he doesn't really have to play a ton of minutes right away. Again, we have guys on the roster that fit that mold, and I think he's going to actually be able to learn from him. I think the comparison to him and Harrison Barnes is going to be great, and I think the way he's going to be able to learn from Harrison Barnes, like we remember, like Harrison Barnes was that kind of athletic dog as well back in his day, you know. Like, so to me, I think Carter Bryant fits that mold, and to me, another A+ because of fit and because of need and because of what was on that board. Still, I personally think he's actually going to make more of an impact than one of the rookie bigs that was left. I think we can get the big depth we need through free agency, but again, we're going to talk about that in a future video. Right now, this is all about these 2 draft picks, these new San Antonio Spurs Digest family. Make sure to show our new Spurs some love, man. Keenan did an excellent job covering the draft live, the first round of the draft live. It was so excellent, but we definitely had to come put a ball on this now that the draft has officially ended, man. This is excellent. If you are a Spurs fan, you should be so excited. I am so happy. I can't say this enough, that the Spurs didn't force a trade here, that the Spurs didn't go under the pressure of trying to just do a little too much when you really don't know what you have in this roster, because people were injured. Things happened this season where we didn't really get to see what we even had before coming into this draft. But now you add 2 dogs, 2 basketball players, 2 Spurs, 2 true Spurs, guys that love the game of basketball, and guys that are going to be locked in. Spurs Digest family, let us know how you feel. Are you excited about these picks? Do you think they should have went there at number 14? Or are you one of those fans that feel like they should have got a big? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear from y'all. Share y'all excitement. This is a big deal right here. This draft right here, to me, this draft I think is going to be one of those really important ones we look back on when the Spurs are making their playoff runs and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad the Spurs got this one right, because I truly think these 2 guys are going to be very, very paramount in the playoff runs we have in the future. Spurs Digest family, again, welcome them to San Antonio. We know what it's like when we bring these rookies here. I don't think they realize it until they get into the city, how much love the Spurs fans, San Antonio, really a lot of parts of Texas have for these San Antonio Spurs. So make sure y'all let them feel that in the comments, man. Show them love. Let us know how you feeling. And again, we have plenty of more to talk about. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every single time we post. For Spurs Digest, I'm Bryan Colbert. Until next time, I'm out.